What is going on, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 158 of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. My name is Blaze, and today I want to talk about the card that's on your screen. This is Umbreon GX. I also want to take on a couple of versus opponents today, and I have a pack of Ancient Origins to open up today as well. So, without much more messing around, let's go ahead and talk about this Pokemon on your screen. This is Umbreon GX. Umbreon's one of my favorite Pokemon as far as the EV evolutions go. Super cool Pokemon. This particular iteration of Umbreon has 200 HP, which is about kind of the same as the card I covered yesterday was Espeon GX. So the HP is pretty much the same there. It is a Stage 1 Pokemon. It evolves from Eevee. Like I mentioned on yesterday's episode, Eevee does have the ability where if you attach an energy card, you get to search your deck for a evolution with that type. So if you attach a Darkness Energy to Eevee, you can use the ability to find Umbreon and get it evolved on stage on turn, I think it's your second turn, not the second turn in the game. So definitely a great ability and a great way to get into Umbreon as quickly as possible. But let's talk about the bottom of the card there. It has a weakness to fighting types. It has a resistance to psychic types, and it has a retreat cost of 2. So I think the fighting type resistance is kind of, or weakness I mean, is kind of expected. Not sure how much fighting types are going to be played in the next rotation of tournaments and things like that. I've heard that they could make a comeback, or they could be very popular going forward, but the resistance to Psychic type, I think, is actually pretty decent. Right now, there's a lot of Psychic type Pokemon out there that are getting a lot of play. My Fairy type deck with Mega Gardevoir EX was quite successful because it preyed upon the weakness that Psychic types have to themselves. So I think the resistance to Psychic type is very good, although some of those deck types could be cycled out as time goes on. So, and the retreat cost of 2 is pretty standard, I think, for any GX Pokemon. There's only a couple of GX Pokemon, and it really kind of depends on like how large, like physically large the Pokemon is. Like Snorlax has like a 4 retreat cost or something, but most of the GXs have a 2 retreat cost. But not very many of them have been very heavy, except for like Snorlax. So as far as the attacks go, there are 3 attacks. There is the first attack there called Strafe that has 30 damage. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. It does say you may switch this Pokemon, so I'm guessing that means it'll be a choice that you won't have to. But if you want to keep this Pokemon alive and get something else going on it, you can if you wish to. There are a couple other cards that I played in the Trading Card Game Online that say you may do X, Y, or Z, and the game makes you do it, and I think one of those was Blastoise, Mega Blastoise EX, or was it just Blastoise EX? I think it was just Blastoise EX. I think that it said that. I don't remember, so don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but my understanding of the word may is that it is a choice. Shadow Bullet is 90 damage. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So it costs 3 energy, one of those being a Darkness Energy, which is not too bad. 90 damage is a little bit low, but it also does 30 to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. If you combine this with a Wide Lens, which is a very underused card, if you ask me, I think Wide Lens could be it could be a card that really does a ton of damage. GX Pokemon don't end your turn when you evolve them, so you don't need any kind of a Spirit Link for them. And you can attach a Wide Lens to Umbreon GX and deal 60 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, should they be weak to Darkness. So there's an option there. You can't use a Fighting Fury Belt because it's not a basic. And I suppose you could use, I think it's a Choice Band, is a card that I haven't been able to cover yet because I can't find a picture of it. But Choice Band would deal extra damage to EX Pokemon. But I mean, I guess 90 is really not that bad. And if you need to get this Pokemon out of the active slot, you can use Strafe to make it switch. But the last attack on there is actually called Dark Call GX. 2 energy. Keep in mind that you cannot use any other GX attacks during the same game that you use this attack. So if you use this attack, it's your only GX attack of that entire game, regardless of what Pokemon used it. But it makes your opponent discard 2 energy cards. It does not say the active, so I'm guessing that means that you can discard 2 energy cards from any of your opponent's Pokemon, which is pretty good. I think that there are a couple of decks. One of my most annoying decks to play against is a deck that very much so revolves around energy denial, and this card would be an excellent addition to a deck like that, to be able to, if your opponent happens to get a couple of max elixirs going and happens to get a play going, you can just deny that energy even further. And a lot of the decks that I've played, that I've built in the past, don't have any kind of energy retrieval, which is my fault. I probably should look at that a lot more often. But you're going to run into decks where they don't have any way to get that energy back into their hand, and essentially it just messes that entire deck up. So I like Umbreon GX. I think I like it a little bit better than I like Espeon GX. But it's probably in my top, I would say probably top 4 of the cards that I've talked about over the last week or so. Great card, has its uses, and I think it could be something that would very easily fit into a multitude of different types of decks. The downside, I mean, the good news is on this card, you only need 1 Darkness Energy ever to get it powered up. So if you happen to just throw in a couple of Darkness Energies into your deck, you know, and use something like a Professor's Letter, you could get that Darkness Energy out and use this card in any deck. So, you know, something to think about. But I'm not sure if I missed anything. So if I did miss something and a strategy came to mind, definitely put it in the comments below. There's probably a ton of strategies out there for any given card that I talk about, and I probably missed a few out that are very good. So definitely put them in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and start that versus match here real quick, and then we will see where that goes. So all this month I am playing one deck. It's the Gambler deck. I'll give a brief showcase of what this deck looks like, just to go over it very briefly. It very much revolves around the idea of gaining extra prize cards when you knock out your opponent's Pokemon. So there's a few things in here that will help with that. It's not perfect. It's got some room for improvement, and all through the month I'll be trying to improve this deck and making it a little bit better. Right now, what I'm toying with is the idea that this card, Slowbro EX, it may not be the best choice for this deck. So that's kind of what I'm playing with in the back of my mind right now, is that this card, it might be better to switch this out, but I'm still toying with that idea. But let's go ahead and get into the versus match, and I will then open up a pack of Ancient Origins. Hoping to get another Versus Seeker. A Versus Seeker would greatly add to my repertoire of possible, what's the word? Possible plays that I could make throughout the game. I only have 1 Versus Seeker, and that's it. And so the decks that I make, that I put on for the entire month, are typically decks that I make using the cards that I actually own. So it's very difficult to make that happen. So it's definitely something that I wouldn't say I struggle with it, but you know, there's opportunities there for me to get better cards, and I desperately would like, and I think I'm going to try to make this work. I definitely would like to put a GX Pokemon in this deck to maybe help it out. Maybe Slowbro EX is not the best choice, and maybe I should switch that out with a GX Pokemon, but I'm not sure which one to put in there. I thought about Lapras, but Lapras can only use its attack every other turn, and I don't like that at all. And it still takes 3 cards to power it up, so I'm not too thrilled about that yet either. or 3 energy, I should say, to power it up. Oh, I want to go ahead and grab another card here. Manafi would probably be a good idea. I'm going to try not to use Slowbro in this match, mainly because Carbink is down here with his Safeguard ability. Prevents all damage from EX Pokemon. I really don't want to deal with that right now, so I'm going to try not to use that Pokemon, Slowbro. Dang it. I have other options. The good news is that Articuno is actually resistant to fighting types, so this match should go well, and I think I'm going to try to get some more Articuno out on the bench. I'm not going to try to get any heavy hitters like Slowbro EX because, oh gosh, because it's going to take too long to power them up, and I really can't afford to, to try and power that up right now. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and do this. I don't know if that's going to come in handy, and honestly, I don't even want to do that right now. I feel like I should replace these with something else that's going to help me remove status effects. Maybe a couple of full heals or Pokemon Center Ladies would be ideal, but oh, okay. So he went ahead and quit. That happens from time to time. I think that I probably get more victories out of people quitting than I get actually out of winning right now. This deck, oh, another pack of cards I can open up today. But this deck it's very experimental, and it doesn't win on its own very much. Although the first match I ever played was on Monday, and it actually worked out really well. It did everything that I wanted it to do, and it was the perfect ideal situation. And ever since then, I've been kind of struggling, but I am making adjustments every day and trying to make this deck something better. And it really is built around the idea that the Greedy Dice card could come in handy in a situation where, and it almost did, where you have 3 prize cards left. You knock out your opponent's Pokemon with Articuno, gaining an extra prize card. One of those prize cards is Greedy Dice. You flip a coin and get heads and grab your last prize card. That's the idea that this whole deck is built around, and I'm probably not the first person to think of this, and it probably doesn't work out very often, but it's at least fun to watch sometimes when your opponents don't quit. Oh, man. So, what else is going on? I think, so yesterday I bought The Legend of Zelda for the Switch. I was able to come across a pre-order for the Switch, Nintendo Switch, and I'm extremely excited to play that game when it finally comes out. March 3rd is just over 30 days away, so that'll be here before you know it, and I'm actually very excited for that. So I think I'm more excited for the games that are coming out later on, although Zelda is going to be super fun. I can't wait to play it. Cannot wait to play it. And then, of course, I think the biggest thing that's happening this week is, well, this week I should say this week the biggest thing that's happening is there are going to be new cards coming out. Of course, I've been talking about cards this whole week, all last week and all this week. So there's a ton of cards that are coming out for the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, and that will be on Friday. So I'm super excited to bring some of those cards some attention. Can't wait to show off some more of that. Some more of the cards. Tomorrow I've got another card I want to show off, and tomorrow's the last day. So tomorrow is Friday. I kind of have to pre-record tomorrow's video, and I don't want to necessarily, but I've got something going on, so I have to pre-record the video. So I won't have any of the new cards unless something really crazy happens. Then I might. But as of right now, I may not have. Actually, let's do this. So I may not have the new cards, but you know, I am desperately wanting to add a card into this deck that would help me, and I'm not sure what that's going to be just yet, but there are some options that'll be coming up. And I'm wondering very much so if Slowbro EX is the wrong choice for this deck, and it's been coming up on my mind quite often. It's not a bad choice because it can deal a great deal of damage. It's just that it's hard to know if I'm going to be able to power it up. Like if I got Slowbro in my hand right now, I could probably get it powered up, and that wouldn't be too much of a hassle. Great. Another Oblivion Wing. He's going to get this powered up a little bit more quickly now because that's in the discard pile. So that's unfortunate. Let's see how it goes here. Another Articuno. I do want this Fighting Fury belt on there, though. And I do want to attach this energy here, because if I lose Manaphy, I can get him back. I kind of need that, because I don't have very many of those. I've got the double colorless energy, so I can get this evolved next turn. Hopefully this Tri-Edge will deal some decent damage this turn. Nope. Another 60. 70. Next turn, though, we're looking at something a little bit better. Of course, he's going to be able to do 100 damage, probably 120, which would come very close to knocking me out. So I'm not sure why he didn't. I guess he's looking for a darkness energy. There it is, though. Oh. He's going to stop me from using item cards, I think. Another 30. It's going to be an interesting situation when I get to the point of using Slowbro. I don't think I'm going to be able to make this work entirely. I keep forgetting to check also for could have used that on the last turn, but that's fine. It's okay. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Oh, good. Greedy dice. Let's do it. Flip. Darn it. So it's worth it. It's such a rush to wonder if I'm going to be able to make it happen. So I think he's just going to evolve on this first turn. Get some energy attached to his Yveltal Break. Oh, there you go. There's Trevenant, which can deal 70 damage. Oh, he's dead. Gone. Way gone. I'm probably going to give up a couple of prize cards here. It may come in handy. I mean, he's dead too, so that's unfortunate. I can't attack. Oh, its attacks cost more. That's unfortunate. Well, I can't really even, let's retreat. Mainly because I don't care if Slowbro dies. That's fine. You can knock him out. Oh no, Trevenant break. I didn't see that coming. Maybe I can put him to sleep. This is a difficult situation. I think I'm going to go ahead and just let him die. That's really all I got. Yeah, I mean, I feel indecisive at this point, but I don't know what else I can do. There's probably a strategy there. If you catch something that I may have missed, feel absolutely free to put it in the comments. Just remember to be respectful, and also to know that gosh, this is going to be so bad. Put a timestamp on the comment that you make if you do make a comment. If I do happen to mention something in the video, or you happen to notice something, place a timestamp on it. That way I can review it for myself. I'm sure there are several opportunities that I could have, but just remember to be respectful as well. That's all I ask. I'm going to lose this match by a lot. This is going to be really bad. I'm already at 190 damage with this Articuno, and I can't really do anything else about it. And I truly believe that it's a situation of the Pokemon that I have compared to what they can actually do. So I'll use Tri-Edge. I'll probably end up losing this match, and that's fine. 60 damage. I wonder if I could have gotten Slowbro out, if that would have made a difference. I suppose it could have. So something to keep in mind, I suppose. Maybe that regular Slowbro is not the ideal card either. So back to the drawing board with the deck to try to get something out here that actually makes a little bit more sense. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and open up a couple of packs of cards. I just got a couple of packs today. I have one Ancient Origins and also one Roaring Skies. So let me go ahead and go into those packs real quick, and then we'll call it a day. I do want to thank you for watching. I do videos every Monday through Friday on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This is going to be a rough month, so don't judge based on this month. But definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will certainly be back with another exciting episode tomorrow. But for now, let's go ahead and go through these cards, and we'll end the video in just a few minutes here. So a brand new card, Scissor EX. Well, brand new for me. It's been out for a while. But it's got 170 HP. It's got Steel Wing for 20 damage. During your opponent's next turn, any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 20. And Gale Thrust for 50 damage. If this Pokemon was on the bench during and became your active Pokemon this turn, the attack does 60 more damage. So pretty decent attack, Gale Thrust. It could do up to 110 damage, and 170 HP is not bad. I wonder, is there a Mega Scizor? Yes. And that has Iron Crusher for 120 damage. Discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon or a stadium card in play. Not too shabby, Mega Scizor, not too shabby. So I don't have any of these cards yet. This is the first time I've gotten a Puzzle of Time card, and I probably should start using these cards. But you may play 2 Puzzle of Time cards at once. If you play 1 card, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. And if you play 2 cards, put 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. If you can manage to get to play 2 of these cards, any 2 cards in your discard pile goes right back into your hand. I think it's a great strategy or card, or whatever you want to call it. Palpito, 90 HP, Frog Hop for 20 damage. Does 20 more damage on a heads flip, and Mud Shot for 60. Gyarados Spirit Link, your turn will not end if you evolve into Mega Gyarados EX. If this card is attached to that Gyarados EX. Cloyster with 100 HP, Sudden Grip for 10 damage. If this Pokemon is evolved from Shelter during this turn, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. And Surf for 70 damage. Corsola with 80 HP, Spike Cannon for 30 damage, times the number of heads, 2 coin flips on that one, and Power Gem for 50. Shelter with 60 HP, Razor Shell, 10 damage, 10 more damage if you flip heads. Growlithe with Bite for 20 damage, 70 HP. I love this card. It just looks so cool. Pancham, 60 HP, Light Punch for 10 damage, and Confront for 20. Slowpoke, 70 HP, Headbutt for 10, and Tail Lure. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So, we're going to go into the last pack of the day here, Roaring Skies. Keep in mind that on tomorrow's episode I may not be able to open up any packs of cards, but I will open at least 33 packs of Sun and Moon cards on Saturday. So stay tuned for a special episode on Saturday while I open those packs. Roaring Skies, really hoping for a Versus Seeker. I don't have enough of them. I would love to have another one, and I did not get it. So what I did get though is, Zapdos, 120 HP, Drill Peck for 20, and Raging Thunder for 120. This attack does 40 damage to one of your benched Pokemon. I've seen this card used very effectively with some other cards in play, like Roaring Seas and a few other things too. Next up we've got Togekiss, 130 HP. Its attack Fairy Wind is 60 damage, and the ability, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may look at the top 8 cards of your deck, choose any basic energy cards you find there, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So this could really come in handy. It's a stage 2 though, so it's going to be very hard to get out into play. But it could come in handy if you're trying to attach a lot of energy very quickly. I'm not a big fan of it being a Stage 2 Pokemon, but it's not bad. I think that aside from that, it would be great. I mean, a rare candy would always help in this situation. But I'm not sure if that counts as playing it from your hand. I think it does, but I'm not sure. It's Ancient Trait here. When you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your first turn, or the turn you play this Pokemon. So you may play this card to evolve on your first turn, or on the same turn that you evolved the Pokemon previously. Rayquaza, Spirit Link. Your turn will not end if your Pokemon becomes Mega Rayquaza. I can't even say it. Let me try that again. Your turn will not end if the Pokemon this card is attached to becomes Mega Rayquaza EX. Special Energy, Double Dragon Energy, will count as 2 energy at a time, and provides any color energy that you need it to be. So that's one of my favorite cards. It's only used for dragon type Pokemon because they have really strange requirements for energy types. I don't like them all that much, but oh well. Healing Scarf, whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to the Pokemon this card is attached to, heal 20 damage from it. Bagon with 60 HP, Continuous Headbutt, 30 damage times the number of heads, flip until you get tails. Volt Orb with 60 HP, Thunder Wave will paralyze on a heads flip, and Big Explosion does 60 damage, but also does 60 damage to itself. Inkay with 50 HP, Rip Off, choose a random card from your opponent's hand. Your opponent reveals that card and shuffles it into his or her deck. And Psybeam with 20 damage, flip a coin, and Confuse on a heads flip. Wingull, pretty simple card here, Water Gun for 10 damage and 60 HP. Cascoon with 80 HP, Poison Sting will poison your opponent's active Pokemon, and Iron Defense. If you flip heads, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks during your opponent's next turn. So that is going to do it for me today, folks. I really do appreciate you watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back tomorrow with another exciting episode of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, and I will catch you on the flippity flip.